Here, where the earth is generous and the sun is fierce, a silent alchemy begins.
The seeds promise, small, yet containing the fire of the coming season. Weeks turn to months. The valley breathes, and the green intensifies.
The caretaker understands the silent language of the roots, a plea for water, a warning of blight.
Water, the lifeblood, delivered not by chance, but by careful, calculated design.
The fire is kindled. The first flower, a fragile pledge of the heat to come.
The fruit sets. From this minute vessel, the power of the sun and soil is concentrated.
Each day, they swell. The skin tightens, and the slow process of building capsaicin begins.
The goal is perfection, uniformity, the ideal length and girth, honed by generations of farming knowledge.
Then, the test. The fury of the summer storm, an inevitable challenge to the season's work.
Knows this dance. The plants must bend, must endure the stress to emerge stronger.
They survived. Cleansed by the deluge, the plants stand ready for the final, intense phase of ripening.
The final stretch. Now, the relentless heat of the sun will drive the final concentration of the fruital's essence.
Corking, a scar of wisdom. To the initiated, it is the true sign of fire within.
The time is measured not by the clock, but by the feel of the fruit. The perfect moment is an intimate conversation.
Firmness, the final check. The internal heat must be maximized, not compromised by over-ripeness.
The harvest begins. A symphony of hands, moving with an inherited rhythm passed down through generations.
The ideal pick. Quick, clean, and without damage. Every pepper is a valuable commodity.
This is the return on their labor. The accumulated heat of the sun, now resting in the sack.
From the vine to the crate. The sorting process, the first stage of the journey from farm to table.
Necessary culling, not for lack of perfection, but for the unforgiving standards of commerce.
The cargo secured. The heat is on the move, a precious payload heading toward its destination.
Another day's labor complete. The fields breathe a momentary sigh of relief beneath the darkening sky.
Through the night, the cargo travels, carrying the essence of the farm into the wider world.
The journey is a constant stress test. Every mile challenges the freshness and integrity of the fruit.
Destination, the nexus of the supply chain. Here, the farming life meets the commercial machine.
No time for ceremony. The clock for freshness is now ticking faster than ever before.
The relentless rhythm of the machine dictates the pace. Every pepper must pass the final, swift inspection.
The final filter. Tested, weighed, and qualified by the unfeeling eye of the algorithm.
Packaged for presentation. The farm's raw product is transformed into a clean, retail-ready commodity.
The label is the promise. To the consumer, it is the identity of the flavor they seek. The final, essential phase of preservation. The cold must lock in the freshness won by the sun. Every degree is monitored. The pepper's internal heat is sealed against the external world.
Across the map, the jalapenos travel, converging from the quiet farm into the demanding city.
The final mile. The product is delivered to the gate where the consumer journey begins. Presentation is key. Clean, accessible, and inviting. The product must sell its own promise.
The culmination of the journey. The farmer's work is now transferred to the hand of the cook. Part of a greater purpose. The heat will now be combined with other flavors to create a memory.
The end of the line. The final moment before the hidden fire is released.
The capsaicin, the fire, is concentrated in the white flesh. The seeds are just the messenger.
The fire meets the flame. The raw heat is now softened, enhanced, and integrated.
The final destiny, a powerful ingredient that transforms the simple act of eating into an experience.
The heat is a memory of the sun. The flavor is the memory of the fertile ground. The legacy is complete.
The harvest ends, but the earth is eternal. The plants wait, ready to begin the magnificent cycle once more.
Until the next season, the valley sleeps. New beginnings. The hope for the next season is planted with every tiny seed. The sky gives its blessing. The first gentle drink to wake the dormant promise.
The science of the earth. Understanding the needs of the soil is as crucial as understanding the plant.
A universe in every spoonful. The unseen life that feeds and protects the developing plant.
Every element has its role. The balance of nature is the foundation of a healthy crop.
The journey accelerates. The plant's focus shifts from survival to aggressive, sustained growth.
Supplemental food. A carefully calibrated boost to ensure deep root and leaf development.
The battle for resources. Every weed is a thief, stealing water and nutrients from the core crop.
The eternal enemy. A constant watch for the subtle signs of attack, met with careful, chemical-free resistance.
The plants reach their zenith. The air is thick with the sweet, subtle promise of pollination.
The momentum is unstoppable. Each flower yields to the tiny vessel of the fruit.
Heat defines the flavor. This concentrated light is the furnace that forges the pepper's character.
The oil of the fire. The plant's natural defense, now the sought-after signature of its taste.
Experience meets innovation.
The future of the harvest is secured by shared insight and mutual trust.
Roadmap of the heat. Each streak is a testament to the stress and the sun, forging the intensity. Silence before the storm of the harvest. A moment to absorb the immense return of the season's patience.
The signal is given. The long-awaited work begins with the touch of the first picker.
A shared energy, a collective focus. The rhythm of the harvest is the rhythm of life on the farm.
The weight of the season. The constant influx of the ripe, desired fruit.
The heat is relentless, but the work is paced by wisdom. Short rests keep the long labor possible. Every tool has a story. This blade, a judge of the season's heat.
Internal transport. Keeping the ripe fruit moving quickly and safely out of the direct sun.
That's the one.
The lessons begin early. The respect for the process, the honor of the harvest. The day concludes. The light gives way, but the harvest continues.
Rest earned. The field is quiet, the bounty's gathered, and the promise is fulfilled for today.
The immediate reward. The fruit of the labor shared in the heart of the home.
The table is the final testament. The flavor, shared, connects the beginning to the end.
More than a vegetable, a legacy, a symbol of heat, endurance, and the earth's endless bounty.
The life lived is recorded on the skin. Every minor scar tells a story of survival.
Quiet playtime. The field, briefly liberated from its work, returns to a natural state of rest.
The silent inventory. The volume of the harvest, secured and ready for the world's demand. The demand is tracked in real time. The price, the flow, the global appetite, all in constant motion. Across oceans and continents, the fire of the valley is prepared for its international voyage. The final leap. From the quiet farm dust to the immense metallic geometry of global trade. Held captive by technology, the pepper's fate now rests on the strength of steel and the stability of the ocean. The challenge never ends. Even in transit, the enemy is present, testing the integrity of the process.
Check of sovereignty. The pepper must pass the gatekeepers of every nation it enters.
A world away, the fire is ready. The farm's legacy has crossed the globe to meet a new market. The universal language of flavor. The passion for heat transcends borders and culture.
A new discipline. The pepper's fire is channeled into a fine, subtle element of complex cuisine.
The flavor is integrated. The heat is woven into the matrix of the new dish, a powerful yet balanced note.
Flavor speeds across continents. The fire of the valley ignites pleasure in a distant palate.
The debt to the earth is repaid, giving back the nourishment to ensure the future's abundance.
The long sleep. Under the blanket of winter, the soil's health is protected and renewed. The work never truly stops. In the quiet season, the mind plans the geometry of the coming spring.
The first test of spring. The soil's texture must be perfect, aerated, rich, and ready for the seed.
Turning of the earth. A gentle preparation, ensuring the ground is soft and welcoming to the fragile root. The blueprint is laid. Every row, every plant, measured and positioned with intention. The optimal home. A perfect depth and width to cradle the seed and encourage immediate root growth.
Strategy in the soil. Deciding the layout, the rotation, and the focus of the year's yield.
The legacy grows. Introducing a new, more potent fire to the valley's established profile.
A new character takes root. The plant's deep color is a visual echo of its concentrated internal heat.
The next generation learns by doing. A small act of care that connects them to the land.
The moisture from the clouds. The gentle humidity that plumps the fruit and sustains the vine.
The solar panel of the plant. A perfect, efficient machine, capturing the light to fuel the fire within. Water and light converge. The perfect fusion of elements to drive the plant towards fruition.
The necessary sacrifice, channeling the plant's finite energy to produce a higher quality, stronger fruit.
Ultimate ripeness, allowing the fruit to reach its maximum color and a completely transformed, sweeter heat.
A chosen few. Dedicated plants for a different purpose, a different, more mature flavor.
Measuring the sweetness. The final scientific analysis to confirm the perfection of the long-ripened fruit. Precise. The special harvest is treated with its own unique care and handling.
It's a slow dehydration, a natural process that concentrates the flavor and intensifies the heat into a new form, transformed by the sun and the air. The flavor profile is now deep, smoky, and intensely concentrated.
The essence extracted. The power of the long season reduced to its most potent, crystalline form.
The concentrated heat, ready to be deployed.
Borders are maintained. A constant vigil against the intrusion of wildlife that seeks to share the harvest. A farm's allies, encouraging the natural predators that keep the delicate ecosystem in balance.
reading the book of the sky, the old wisdom that anticipates the needs and the threats of the weather.
A rare gift. Minerals from the deep earth, carried on the wind to enrich the surface soil.
The anomaly is celebrated, a moment of shared humor in the often serious business of farming.
The old ways, tools and techniques passed down, valued not for speed, but for efficacy and connection.
The hands tell the story. The labor is recorded in the texture of the skin, a lifetime spent in the sun.
A moment of grace, the fleeting beauty of the natural world, undisturbed by the work of the farm.
The beauty of the imperfection, the small variation that makes this single fruit a piece of art.
The connoisseur visits the source. Understanding the flavor begins with the plant, the soil, and the sun.
The silent patrol. Another essential element in the farm's delicate, working ecosystem.
The calibration of control. Every technical detail is monitored to maximize the plant's potential.
Collective spirit, a bond forged in the heat and the hard work of the long season.
None are wasted. A final pick for personal use. A small tribute to the plant's full effort.
The moon's watch. The subtle, quiet force of the cosmos, governing the hidden cycles of the plant.
Night's jewelry. The final polishing of the fruit by the cool, ethereal moisture.
The seeds return to the source. The potential for a new cycle is offered back to the fertile ground.
Cycle demands replenishment, returning the concentrated organic energy to the weary soil. The heart of the earth is warm. The soil is alive, waiting to be transformed into next season's heat.
The final sign of favor. A beautiful promise that the sun and the rain will return, and the work will begin again.
A relic of the past season. The subtle reminder of the life, the growth, and the successful fight. Respect for the instruments. The tools are treated as partners, ready to serve the next cycle's demands.
Genetic promise. The careful selection of the strongest, hottest seeds to carry the legacy forward.
The identity renewed. A visible declaration of the farm's enduring pride and commitment to quality.
The triple threat. A dense concentration of early energy. A preview of the coming abundance.
Mirror of the moment. The moisture of the night, reflecting the texture of the day.
A natural spectacle. The passing wonder of the migratory world. A brief splash of color on the green canvas.
If we terrace here, we can conserve the topsoil. The vulnerability of the earth.
Constant vigilance is required to
The ancient wisdom. Using the simple elements of the earth to enhance the survival of the plant.
The moment of perfection.
The flawless embodiment of the season's sun, water, and labor. Final readiness. The physical sign that the internal heat is fully mature and concentrated.
The disciplined advance. Moving as one unit, maximizing efficiency, and minimizing damage to the plants.
The instinctual sort. A rapid quality check performed with the hands, not the machine.
The final edition. The perfect capstone to a full load of pristine, hand-harvested fruit.
The day's cargo returns. A powerful silhouette of success against the burning light of the West.
The silent partner. The faithful companion shares the exhaustion of the long, honest day.
The heart of the harvest rests. The silent, concentrated wealth of the season.
Niche is honored. Each special pepper is separated, respected for its unique journey and flavor.
The hand of the artisan, transforming the raw product into a high-value, perfectly textured final spice.
The ultimate signature. A limited edition, representing the full cycle of the farm's expertise and patience.
The rhythm of the commercial world returns. The night's sleep gives way to the morning's demand.
Secured for the journey. The driver is the temporary guardian of the season's hard-won bounty.
The friction of the road begins. Every mile tests the durability and packing of the load. Out of the valley and into the light, the product of patience begins its rapid transit to the city. A brief pause on the long haul, the mundane necessity of the journey's constant pressure.
The fuel for the final push, the warm, sharp focus required for the demanding miles ahead.
Jarring transition. From the quiet geometry of the farm to the demanding chaos of the urban grid. The machine takes over. The personal touch of the harvest is replaced by the relentless drive of logistics. The final commercial blessing. The farm's quality is certified by the cold, unbiased eye of the scanner.
The final dispersion. From the central hub, the fire is distributed into the local veins of the city.
The final resting place before consumption. Clean, simple, and ready for the customer's choice.
The first sensory contact. A small, tentative probe of the intense flavor's promise.
A conscious choice, selecting the flavor that will define the evening's central dish. Inner architecture exposed. The white placenta, the engine of the pepper's legendary heat.
Targeting the source. The slicing process carefully controls the level of heat to be released into the dish.
The confluence of flavor. The heat is integrated with the sharp, sweet, and herbal notes of the other elements.
Simple elegance. The full complexity of the pepper delivered in a pure, unadulterated form.
The introduction to the heat. A memory is forged in the first experience of the jalapeño's fire.
Shared at the table. The labor of the farm now fuels the conversation and the bonds of the family.
The eternal reset. The end of one cycle is the necessary preparation for the grand start of the next.
The moment of shade. A brief rest for the thirsty earth before the sun demands its full attention again.
Preparing for the push. Protecting the hands that perform the continuous, demanding work of the farm.
The natural guards emerge. The farm's subtle, integrated system of defense begins its silent, microscopic work.
Data informs the instinct, translating the observed reality of the field into a measurable, actionable plan. The detail of the development. A close, intimate check to ensure the perfect, healthy formation of the plant's core structure.
The wind's cruel test. A sustained stress that forces the plant to conserve moisture and toughen its structure. The skin toughens. The stem sacrifices softness for the necessary strength to carry the heavy future fruit.
The ancient partnership. Relying on the native pollinators to ensure the authentic, high-quality fruit set.
Sun's brief retreat. A sudden, strange pause in the flow of light that governs the plant's life.
Witness to the cosmic. A moment to remember the immense, indifferent power that makes the entire process possible.
Light returns. The brief, cold pause is over, and the season's relentless momentum resumes.
Mark of quality. The most elegant evidence of the sun's concentrated work on the fruit.
The micromanagement. Every plant, every section is treated as a unique challenge, demanding specific care.
Chemical-free defense. A gentle, natural solution to protect the plant without compromising the integrity of the fruit.
Cleansed by the deluge. The water highlights the inherent quality and the coming intensity of the fruit. The final blessing of light. The concentrated energy required for the last, crucial phase of ripening, the moment of peak. The plants signal that the internal process is complete and the fruit is ready.
Silent confirmation. The farmer's instinct validates the science and the patient waiting.
The final mobilization, seizing the optimal moment to gather the long-anticipated perfect yield.
The peak efficiency, maximizing the collection rate while maintaining the integrity of the fruit. Final measurement, translating the labor of the hands into the clear, verifiable metric of weight. The strain of the bounty, the heavy, honest weight of the season's successful yield. Final securing. The cargo is bundled against the trials of the road and the changing temperature.
The last, crucial sample. A final check to ensure the quality matches the promised specification.
The caravan departs. The field is silent, the labor complete, the promise on the road. Winding down. The final, quiet, domestic rhythm that closes the long chapter of the day.
The weight of the day is lifted. A moment of profound, simple, and earned repose.
The great, cool drink.
The earth's silent acceptance, drawing the life-giving water into its depths, preparing for the next cycle's heat. The final push through the storm. The cargo must be protected from the harsh, cold reality of the city's climate.
The integrity maintained, the tarp held fast, and the dry cargo is ready for immediate processing. Heart of the fire protected. The perfect, dry fruit delivered through the surrounding elements. The diversified final product, catering to the varied demands of a fragmented, sophisticated market. The promise of longevity. Controlled climate and swift logistics secure a full shelf life. The last mile logistics. A finely tuned operation to deliver the product in peak condition.
Digital accountability. Every box is tracked from the farm gate to the final retail shelf.
Dispersal begins. The fire of the valley is carried to 100 different tables in the city.
The source for the expert palate, providing the key ingredient for the true, intense flavor profile.
Master's final check. The aroma, the texture, the deep signature of the sun and soil must be present.
The transformation begins. The raw power of the pepper is channeled by the master's precise hand. The bath of flavor, a slow, gentle infusion that softens the heat and adds a layer of complex sour and herbal notes.
The final seal. The flavor is locked in, ready to be deployed as a sharp, intense accent.
The final artistry. The pepper's heat is used as a precise visual and textural element of the dish.
The high-end experience. The pepper's journey culminates in a moment of refined, intense flavor.
The taste of mastery. The heat is present, but perfectly balanced by the sweet, sour, and herbal notes.
The ancient foundation. The permanent elements of the earth that outlast the cycles of life and growth.
Silent survey. Walking the ground, contemplating the past season and the promise of the next.
Looking to the source. The high peaks that capture the snow and feed the lifeblood of the valley.
Wild power of nature. A necessary violence that replenishes the atmosphere and the moisture below. The pure extract. The essence of the fire, rendered to its most potent, concentrated, and valuable form. The industrial integration. The potent essence of the jalapeno is measured into the product line.
Command given. The final transformation of the farm's product into a high-volume consumer good.
The final incarnation. The essence of the pepper, sealed and branded for mass consumption.
The quick grab. the essential flavor delivered with speed and convenience to a hungry, hurried world.
The instant heat. The concentrated fire deployed for immediate, intense flavor gratification.
The full force deployed. An experience of pure, unadulterated, satisfying heat.
The soil rests, protected and nourished by
the non-commercial beauty. The simple, unbought pleasure of the field's natural margin.
Ultimate unity. The shared commitment that underpins the entire, continuous cycle of the land.
Rest is earned. The cycle ends for a few short hours before the sun demands the first thought of the new day.
The final perspective. The small farm, a perfect, fragile island of life in the immense, cold silence of the cosmos. Life's insistent return. The plant's deep, resilient energy, ready to spring from the dormancy.
The next season's blueprint. The complex chemical analysis that ensures the soil's perfect nutritional balance.
Potassium level here. We adjust the blend for better yield.
Informed decision, combining the traditional wisdom of the ground with the undeniable facts of the modern test.
The organic infusion. Slowly and carefully enriching the earth with the broken down goodness of past seasons.
The delicate symmetry of life. The plant's perfect geometry, designed for maximum light capture.
Protective mound. A simple, ancient method to stabilize the young plant and conserve the precious subsurface moisture.
The subtle defense. Protecting the nascent fruit from the natural predators who seek the easy meal.
Necessary kiss of water. A brief moment of refreshment before the sun drives the process of fruit set.
Spulfic signature. The genetic blueprint of the chosen variety begins to manifest its unique form.
The furnace of the sun is at its zenith. The pepper's internal fire is being forged in the visible heat.
Natural armor. A self-generated defense against the relentless heat and the constant threat of desiccation.
The final adjustment. Every degree of sun must be evenly distributed to ensure a uniform intensity.
The race against the sky, securing the farm against the fury of the sudden, fast-approaching storm.
The enduring spirit, ready to weather the challenge, knowing the plant will draw strength from the stress.
The full force delivered. The field absorbs the relentless weight of the sky's powerful release.
Strength of the stem. The fruit holds fast, a testament to the deep-rooted resilience of the plant.
The light breaks through. The final, spectacular display of the forces that challenged and then blessed the harvest.
A silent thank you. A tender moment of acknowledgement for the plant's endurance and the bounty it holds.
The internal measure. The final, scientific verification that the fruit's texture is at its absolute peak.
The final, furious rhythm. The moment of maximum effort to bring in the entire, perfected yield.
The true measure of labor. The heavy, honest weight that is carried on the backs of the patient workers.
The final, powerful journey home. The season's immense work is complete with the setting sun. The partnership reaffirmed. The shared success forged from tradition, science, and the power of hard work.
The cherished few. A final, dedicated package for the client who appreciates the deepest, smoky flavor.
The silent wealth. The volume of the season's success, secured and ready for the world's commercial engines.
The chain of custody begins, ensuring the integrity of the harvest from the farm to the final customer.
Dispersal en masse. A concentrated effort to deliver the bulk of the product to the global market simultaneously. The mechanical stress. The final, continuous vibration that tests the fruit's fortitude before packaging.
Precision in volume. Ensuring every consumer receives the exact, guaranteed weight of the product. Sealed for the journey. the final layer of protection against all possible contamination and movement.
The digital identity. A complete record of the product's journey, from the seed to the shelf.
Across the ocean to a new continent, the Jalapeno's fire begins its intercontinental voyage. The silent monitor, recording every condition to ensure the product's peak freshness upon arrival.
Days on the open water. The delicate cargo is protected from the corrosive salt and the relentless motion.
Arrival in a new world. The farm's product is integrated into a completely new culture and cuisine.
The trust of global trade. The handshake that guarantees the quality and the continuity of the partnership.
Chaotic, sensual market. The pepper competes for attention in a loud, vibrant world of flavor.
The art of the sale. Presenting the product with confidence and the promise of intense, fresh flavor.
The educated touch. The buyer knows the signs of quality, resilience, and promised heat.
The local method. Expert handling that demonstrates a lifetime of comfort with the pepper's inherent heat.
The integration into tradition. The pepper's fire becomes a key element in a deep, ancient, complex flavor profile.
Pleasure of the scent. The complex aroma of the integrated fire, a promise of the rich flavor to come.
The universal ritual. The family meal, elevated and centered by the flavor born of the distant valley.
Home garden's promise, ensuring the fire of the farm's legacy is kept alive, even on the smallest scale.
The sanctity of the ecosystem, teaching the next generation the fragility and value of all life on the land.
The deep freeze. The cold preserves the soil's work, preparing it for the deep thaw of spring.
Necessary hardship. Enduring the winter's bite, knowing the cold is vital for the soil's health.
The light returns. The valley wakes with a burst of power, and the great cycle of the fire begins anew. Perfect texture. The final check on the Earth's readiness for the precious seed.
Partners in the promise.
The collaboration that will guide the destiny of the next 100,000 peppers.
The first action. A simple, profound gesture that initiates the grand, transformative process.
Gentle pressure, ensuring perfect, continuous contact between the seed's heart and the life-giving earth.
The entire future of the harvest is held in this single, small, dormant vessel of heat.
A moment of breakthrough. The dormant life asserts itself against the heavy, dark resistance of the ground.
The world is met. The first surface leaves, perfectly angled to capture the sun's essential, life-giving energy. The geometry of hope. The perfect, rhythmic pattern of the new life, stretching into the vast, open future.
Gentle care. The future generations learn the essential, tender art of nurturing the young, fragile life.
The subtle prophecy. The first mark of stress and heat, predicting the intensity to come.
Canopy is closed. The field has reached its full, immense, productive capacity, basking in the direct sun.
The fruit of the season. The final, perfect result of the long, arduous, patient process is now ready.
The final fruit gathered. The ultimate expression of the farm's enduring purpose and quality.
The labor concluded. The long, continuous cycle finds its moment of quiet, earned respite.
The legacy is passed. The fire, the knowledge, and the labor are entrusted to the next generation.
Simple truth. The raw, beautiful perfection of the fruit, delivered from the earth to the table.
3 generations, one purpose. The cycle of the farm is the binding, continuous rhythm of their lives.
The magnificent consequence. The ultimate reward of sun, water, patience, and the sweat of honest labor.
Essence of the valley. A tear of gratitude. reflecting the fierce journey from soil to spice.
And so, the field sleeps. The fire is banked, the seed is waiting,